Welcome back to I'm Still Sick and I'm Still Not in My House. Ed's being very nice about me staying here and taking care of me while I'm still sick. So we're just gonna do that until I get better. I probably will go back home tonight. I'm feeling significantly better than I was yesterday. Didn't go to work today either, which is great. Not enjoying it. I think it's really bad. But there's not much else I can do because the NHS website literally just tells me to rest and gargle salt water. So that's what I've been doing. And it's been helping. My tonsils are still pretty swollen. I can still feel them. Um, but we're doing a lot better today. I wanted to review The Figure by Eve Lilly because I've kept saying that I'm going to do that, and I haven't done it yet, and I feel like I really should do it. But after this, I think I'll probably give the reviews a little break, mainly because while the authors do really appreciate it, maybe I have to go about it in a different way because it doesn't really get that much attention. Whereas like my other videos would at least get more than maybe 10 views. These definitely fall short of that, unless the author has a huge following. I'm happy to do shout outs to different authors. I think that would work better for, in the interest of both of us. I'd probably do lists instead of readings. If I find something particularly compelling, I may do a reading of that, but I think for the most part I'll leave readings to live streams. But I will do this one because I promised I'd do this one, and to be honest, there's not much for me to review here, so hopefully this will be a short video. But knowing me, it probably wouldn't be, so strap in. This is called The Figure. And the first chapter is called Drive, and this story is by Eve Lilly, who is a fairly new user. And I'm just going to start reading, and then I'll review. You guys know the process by now. So here we go. The Figure by Eve Lilly, first chapter, Drive. He stood there every morning at 7:12, watching, staring at the cars as they passed by. It didn't matter the weather. Whether there was snow, rain, fog, sun, or thunder, he would be there. Some days he would walk across the bridge, but others he just stood, watching all of the cars go by. He wears a white shirt with collar and a brown jumper loosely hanging over his slender frame. His hands are always settled in the pockets of his dark denim jeans that perch atop his black Doc Martens. In bad weather, we would wear a thick green anorak that covered him from the showers. His glasses reflected each car as they glided past, with his eyes locked on the 3 lanes that become increasingly demanding in the morning traffic. He hadn't made me nervous in the beginning. Just the shadow of a figure stood on a bridge, taking a break from his walk and admiring the views. He seemed settled there, as though she should have always been there. He must have been in his mid-60s, his back slightly hunched over from the many years of his hard labour he had undertaken. The first few weeks, I believe he was just a pedestrian, on his morning stroll, waking himself up to start the day. But after 4 months it seemed strange, worrying even. Every morning I transported myself to my meaningless job. I would look up at the same strange man on the cattle bridge, waiting for him to do something out of the ordinary, but he never did. So many questions crossed my mind. Why was he there? Who was he? Was he specifically watching for me? What did he want? I knew these questions could never be answered, but still I felt the need to know the truth of this man. Will there be one morning when I am sipping my customary cup of peppermint tea with honey that I look up and he won't be there? Or will he be with another, or even walking a dog? If he were walking a dog, I would have been less concerned about the mysterious figure stood on the bridge. I didn't understand why this would make me feel more at ease, but it did. Yet he was still alone. Today was no different. I had started my journey towards Junction 24 and taken a sip of my tea. When I was coming towards the bridge, as I came closer to the figure, I looked up, lifting my eyes as I swallowed a large gulp and saw the figure staring at me. His eyes pierced into my memories, dark and alarming, threatening almost. I'd never seen such fear, anger, and sadness all in one look. It was only brief, and in that moment I felt I saw into the figure's soul. I saw all of his hatred, his darkness, and his betrayal within a glimpse. I stopped and placed my cup in the holder, never taking my eyes off the road in front of me. I moved both hands to the steering wheel, gasping hopelessly and trying to get those eyes out of my vision as I felt a cold blast creep up my spine and into my neck. My hands turned to ice and my feet began to freeze. I didn't understand why it had turned me so cold, but I knew that I never wanted to see those eyes or the figure again. I was jolted back into place by the sound of a car horn behind me. Flashing lights lit my rear view mirror, like strobe lights. I looked down and realized I was in the third lane going 45 miles an hour. I quickly indicated to go left, and as I did, another car screamed past me, throwing his middle finger up, shouting obscenities. I swerved back, then checked around me and moved slowly over the middle lane, speeding up to a steady 67 miles per hour, and continued to concentrate on my journey to work. So that was the first chapter of The Figure, and the reason why I sort of read it all at once is A, because my throat is horrifically swollen, and B, because this is the formatting. Now, I'm not saying that this is the fault of the author. I truly believe that this is the fault of Movellas and how they format things. And sometimes when you copy and paste it from like a Word document, it gets messed up, so you may need to check it. Like, I can see that there are clear paragraphs here, like here and here, but it's not as clear when there could be another paragraph in there, and I don't know where it is, and that's due to the formatting on the site. It needs to be sorted out. It's been a problem since the beginning of the site, and I'm not saying that that's the author's fault. I think the author did a good job at describing most things, as you had me read. They're very good with their descriptive work, and they're very good with their sort of imagery and how everything is sort of visualized and how the thoughts of the character are portrayed. I like that there are no names. There are absolutely no names in the beginning of this, in the first chapter of the story, and I think it gives like a nice ominous effect. And also that you mention a lot of mundane things, like everyday things that you do every day. You mention a lot of everyday things, which puts me as a reader at ease, but you're making me feel uneasy because there's this guy who's just sort of standing there and watching you every morning. I would avoid mentioning designer brands because it kind of took me away from it. Like when you mentioned Dr. Martens or Doc Martens, it really took me away from it. Or when you said a cup of peppermint tea with honey, it's a little bit too specific, so it takes you away from the story itself. But as a whole, I really, really like this first chapter, and I think that a lot of people would want to know more of it. And I'll leave a link to your account as well as the story itself, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed reading it, and it was one of the first ones I picked up, and I'm so sorry that it's taken so long to review. Things have just been constantly coming up, and I hope that you get to see this and that you enjoy watching it. And there were a couple of grammatical errors that I think you can go back and fix, but there's nothing major. I really, really enjoy this, and it was one of the reasons why I delayed this, because I honestly could not find much to criticize you on besides the formatting, which probably is not your fault. So I think that you should probably get back to writing this. It's really good and I would like to see more, and I hope that this review is in some way helpful to you or encourages you to continue writing it. In terms of this series. I like doing the series. I like reading stories and reviewing them like online. But I may put it on hold for now until I can find a way to make it more engaging and maybe add some more elements in. Maybe I need to speed up the video because a lot of them are quite long. Or maybe I need to, add some stuff to it. I don't really know. My brain fog is still going on. If you don't know about that, you might want to see my previous video about it. My throat still hurts. I've still got brain fog, so I'm not going to continue for very much longer on this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you like and share and subscribe. That's all I really have to say. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.